Hey, it's Nate Carver, your favorite mortgage guy on Between Two Doors. And today we're talking with the real estate agent Lisa Mann out of Cypress, Texas. A little bit about Lisa. She is an esteemed real estate broker with eXp Realty and is renowned and has unwavering dedication to industry expertise and her passion in helping clients achieve their real estate dreams. Lisa has established herself as a trusted advisor and a top performing professional. Lisa's journey is in real estate began with a vision to provide exceptional service and create a lasting relationship with her clients. Her deep understanding of the local market, coupled with her keen negotiation skills, and has enabled her to be successful in navigating a complex market in complex times. Hey, I'm Nate Carver, and welcome to Between Two Doors. Everybody, I'd like to introduce y'all to Lisa. Hi, Lisa. How are you doing?
Hey Nate, how's it going?
Good. Got a great big storm up here in North Texas, and so we're gonna do this recording live. And if we lose power, we'll jump that bridge when we get there. So,
Yeah.
all right. So tell me. So did you start your real estate journey in Cyprus or somewhere else?
No, I did not. My journey in real estate was not traditional by any means whatsoever. I started it in Fulshire around 2004, but I actually had my license in 1996. So I kind of did real estate off and on. 2004, 2006, decided to go back into real estate full time because I was a single parent and that career path fit nicely, for what I need to do for my daughter. And also at the same time became a mortgage broker as well. So shortly after that, what happened is I ended up working for an investor, okay, that had his own portfolio. So we kind of did the hard money loans. So I managed the mortgage side of the business. And if they needed, a real estate agent to kind of help transact some deals, I was available for that as well.
Wow.
So, and then, so you fast forward to 2020, because my client was exiting the business. So whatever portfolio we had, we started, not taking on new business, not refinancing anything. Um, and he kept about maybe five of the loans that we had. And then in 2020, I decided to get back into the market full time.
Nice. So your experience being in as a real estate agent, having some mortgage background as a mortgage lender, your clients are doubly served, if you will, when they're looking to finance a home because you've got some knowledge. Well, you've got active knowledge on the real estate side of finding the right home in the market and all that, but then you've got the knowledge of your formal education in the mortgage world, supporting that to help navigate also.
And I will have to say, I still do have my mortgage broker's license, although I don't actively use it.
Okay.
But I don't know about you, but that was the hardest license I've ever had to test for in my entire life. And I said,
It
there's
is.
no way I'm going to let that thing lapse. So I don't do anything with it, but I take those courses every year.
I hear you. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's a challenging license to get for sure. And the way I always thought the tricky thing that they do in the testing is they use double and triple negatives in their questions. And so if you're, I think they do that to make sure you're paying attention. But it can trip you up if you don't catch the extra negative. And when you think they're asking for something, they're asking the opposite. But good
Yeah,
for
and
you.
back
That
well, and back when I took that test, I don't know how they do it nowadays, but when I took that test, they didn't tell you, you didn't know immediately if you passed the test or not. And honestly, in that test, I had no way of gauging if I passed it or not. I just wasn't sure. And I came out and and the lady sitting at the desk, she said, "Are you all right? Do you need to sit down?" I said, "Just tell me if I passed or not."
Oh yeah. Yeah, it seems like I remember I guess my original license was almost 6 years now. Yeah, and you had to wait. You're like, I don't know. I mean, you kind of knew you had a general idea, but you didn't know to the number what your score was. And their cutoffs, better than
Yeah.
80%. Uh, you got to do 80% or better. No, well, you got to do great on it. I don't remember.
Yeah, you
I
got to
passed
pass
it.
it.
I
And you got
passed
to
it.
pass it within a number of times or they're going to suspend your license.
That's
So,
right. Yeah. So I hear you on the renewal part every year. It's so much easier to just go to do the renewal than because if
yeah,
you miss in the lending world, if you miss that and your license expires, you have to take the course completely over.
yeah,
And that's if you're running a business, the amount of hours to get that license is pretty, that's a lot of time. That's a pretty substantial commitment of time there. So, all right. Well, so you've got the benefit when you're listening and talking to people that are looking to buy homes. You've got the benefit of having both hats and being able to guide them and whenever you make a recommendation to them as to what lender to use or make an introduction, for you that carries some weight with the homeowner because you're gonna know what you're talking about on both sides of that coin, buying the real estate property and financing it. Pretty cool. I very rarely have run across realtors or lenders that carry both
yeah,
licenses. So
yeah.
good. So I'm gonna focus as the loan officer originator. I'm
Yes.
gonna focus on the real estate side of
Yeah.
it. So tell
Perfect. I
me
love it.
what got you into the real estate? What drew you to it? What was the initial experience for you that thought, I want to go throw my hat in the real estate side?
Well, like I said, initially I was a single parent. And
Hmm.
so that, being in the real estate business, allowing me to make my own hours, that really fit nicely,
With your
for
daughter,
me
yeah.
and what I need to do for my daughter. And then, aside from that, and you probably have heard this from a lot of people, I just like looking at houses. I do.
Yeah.
I mean, some people may say they don't, but I really do enjoy being out there, looking at the houses, seeing what's on the market, and just being out there interacting with folks.
When you're looking at houses, do you find that personally you have a favorite preference type? Like for me, it's a craftsman home with a wraparound porch. I love those homes. I always have, but I'm just curious if there's a model that you like or
Not particularly for me, but I do tend to look at things more on the business side of things when I'm touring homes with my clients. So, for instance, I try to make a note for them, when they're looking at homes, especially with the first-time home buyers.
Mhm.
What they're if they're not doing new construction, what are they looking at if they move into that home, and what's that potential investment going to be for them down the road for things that they have to do for that home versus things that they want to do.
Mhm. What are some things with your first time home buyers that try to help guide them through on the front end so that it removes some of the chaos that can come with buying a home when it doesn't have to be chaotic.
Yeah, and you can probably speak to this, but a lot of times people don't realize, especially the first time home buyers, they don't realize that it's really not that much more of an uptick in their monthly mortgage if they jump 20, 30, $50,000. And
Hmm.
they think they're going to save a lot of money monthly by let's just say going from 300 to 250, but in essence they're not. And one of the things I educate those first time home buyers who are in that price range, is, I can understand if you want to look at a house that's 250, but this house is older, it has existing windows, you probably have to replace those over time, you know.
Hmm.
And I don't know about you guys, but right now, I do a lot of business in Harris County, and there's a big problem with roof issues right now. A lot of the
Yeah.
insurance companies don't want to cover roofs that are even 15 years old, or the buyers are being priced out of the market with the cost that it would cover, to get that insurance premium. So I talked to them about that, hey, if you want to get this house, it does have an older roof, just know, maybe in 5, 7 years from now, you might be having to pay for a new roof,
Right.
some of the mechanical systems, things like that.
Right. I just did a podcast with the insurance agent and we talked about roofs, substantial amount of time on roofs because people will go, "Well, I've got a 30-year warranty." Well, they explained how that 30 years could be 15 in reality just because of weather patterns, heat, freezes, whatever. Anyway, I got an education on insurance, so I'll
Yeah.
refer people to that podcast. You're not going to stay on real estate, so
It is a thing though. It is a thing.
yeah,
So
it is, and it substantially can lower or raise one's rates or make or break a mortgage deal, really. Your oh, there was a thought there I had on something you had said with removing some of the chaos there. Um, I'll come back to it. Do you find with your first time home buyers, I try not to overwhelm them because there's a lot, especially in the current lending climate. There's a lot of demands or requests lenders will make for documents and explanations of things. And the right lender is looking at it. Well, what do we got to do to get this person into a home? In my opinion, and then the wrong lenders or underwriters are looking for reasons not to write loans. Um, so I try to lay out for them in a mortgage loan consultation what the next 30 days of going under contract can look like to closing
mhm.
and balance that with not overwhelming them with a whole lot of information. Um, but on the front end, I've found that if I can write that loan with as much documentation and basically pre-underwriting or underwriting the loan up front, um, whenever I give them a hard number of, hey, here's your maximum purchase limit and describe to them what that means. Oh, now I
Mhm.
totally remember. So when I describe what that means, just because they can afford a $400,000 home doesn't mean they need to buy a $400,000 home. Maybe their dynamic is what they're comfortable paying monthly.
Mhm.
And to your point on, what a ten to $50,000 difference in the purchase price, showing them, I use a piece of software called Mortgage Coach, and I'm able to show them, you know, the monthly difference there may only be about $60 on a $50,000 loan, give or
Yes.
take. Whereas the interest rate could boost that monthly payment up significantly and reduce their purchase price, or the purchasing power. Or I could show them where if we can apply those funds instead of putting more down on the house, apply it to their structuring their financing, that I
Yep.
can actually lower that monthly payment and to strengthen their purchasing power. Lay that all out in a beautiful graph for them so nobody gets
Nice.
lost. And so, but that's something that goes hand in hand with the real estate agent because when y'all are looking at offers, if you know, for example, an FH, and you know this, an FHA loan, the maximum seller's concession right now is 6%. And so knowing what that is in relationship to a particular property really gives you the ammunition you need to be able to go in and negotiate with the seller's agent, to tighten up the cost on that loan.
Right. And so here's the thing, and I'll give you a perfect example because we actually have a client right now with that exact same scenario
Hmm.
where, they're looking $50,000 under, what they're budgeted for. But the issue is the homes that they're looking at potentially because of the age and the condition of those homes, they're probably going to have to invest 30 to $50,000 in that house eventually
Hmm.
with the work that needs to be done on those homes. You know what I mean?
Right.
So are they really getting the deal?
Do you have an idea of I guess, how this divides up for you, first time home buyers versus seasoned buyers and investors, about how that divides out for you?
Would say probably about 50-50. You
Hmm.
know, there's a good mix in there of them.
Wow, good for you. Yeah. Yeah. First time home buyer is still the largest percentage of the market. And so good for you. Yeah, the investor side. I've been learning some different products with the debt service ratio loans, DSCRs, some bridge loan products that are available. Um, I'm curious, on your investors, do you find that they're usually cash buyers? Are they leveraging financing to purchase those properties?
So with investors, I normally don't work with investors unless they're buying my listings.
Okay.
So the majority of my clients are military and veteran families. The majority of them are.
Okay.
I'd say probably 90% roughly are military and veteran families.
Oh, wow.
Um, yeah, and that's just a community. I mean, we love to serve. We take all clients, but
Hmm.
it just so happens like that is that's kind of our niche, and those are the people that gravitate to us, and we love taking care of them.
Yeah, and that community talks to each other. So good for you.
Oh, they
Good for you.
do.
So
But
as
they're very action-oriented people as well, and I love it.
Oh yeah, you as a veteran, look, two things that give veterans extreme anxiety. One is being late to
Yep.
anything, and then not having the right paperwork. So when you
Yep.
when you ask
So,
for a document, a veteran will be like, "Here you go."
oh yeah.
Active duty the same way. You can get it pretty quickly. They'll have their LES, their DD 214s, and
Yep.
they'll have their awards letters, everything. So
Yep.
good for you. That community, that is my community too. I'm very passionate about taking care of them. Um, and you may know this having wearing those two hats. Um, there are a high it's a high percentage of lenders that will write VA loans and treat it as an FHA loan,
Yeah.
which will fail the veteran or active duty service member every time. It'll fail
Yep.
them. They will disqualify them. They don't know. The veteran doesn't know because why would they? They're not. This isn't their expertise. They've got their own lives and families and careers to focus on, and they're leaning and trusting on the lender. Um, and the phrase is "Don't FHA my VA," and it's real. And I have pulled and rescued loan after loan after loan from people that were, they'd call crying. The
Yeah.
wives, spouse would be crying because they've got time and money invested in a home that they've fallen in love with and want to make their own. Oftentimes, they're on a short timeline to move because of orders or job
Yeah.
requirements. So a excellent real estate agent and an excellent lender removes that chaos. And here's the
Yes.
one I hear often. And tell me if you hear this. I can only use my VA benefits to buy a home one time.
Oh yeah.
I hear that
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
And that's a myth,
Yeah.
absolute myth. So, yeah, we can talk VA stuff. So, what's
Well,
something
I do want to say in my opinion, I mean, the VA loan hands down is the best loan out there.
it
I
is?
mean, and when you talk about, lenders that are not super educated on that program, which, is very sad in my opinion.
Mhm.
There's a lot of realtors out there that are not educated on that program. And so, I find myself oftentimes having to educate that person. If I have the buyer, having to educate the realtor on the other side of the table that, yeah, this is a great loan. Like you can take this loan to the bank all day
Yeah,
long. And it's kind of scary sometimes because there are some realtors that will shy away from a VA loan because they don't truly understand it. But,
right.
even during COVID, when we were doing people were looking at 15, 30 offers, a lot of my clients were beating out even cash offers. I mean,
Yep.
it's a good loan to do.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a fantastic loan. The ability, well, right off the bat, you don't have mortgage insurance. Um, you know, maybe you have a VA disability rating, so if you do, you don't have the VA's funding fee that the VA charges.
Right.
Um, that goes away.
Yep.
Um, I counsel, I take my mortgage hat off and I counsel vets on this and active duty. I'm like, if you're active duty, you make sure you get whatever injury. There's nothing you do in the military
Yep.
that's normal. And
Yep.
so get it in your medical records. And when you ETS and go through the VA process to getting your long-term disability set up, it's a recording, and all you need is a 10% disability rating,
Yep.
and the VA funding fee is waived for life.
Yep.
And here's one, active duty personnel. Um, if you have a Purple Heart, we've been, the global war on terrorism lasted 20 years. So there's a lot of active duty soldiers that have Purple Hearts. Your VA funding fee is waived. They don't know that.
I did not know that. Okay, good to
Yeah, there you
know.
go. And
Yeah,
so
I love it.
yeah, and so active duty personnel are buying using the VA funding fee and getting, or the VA's loan and getting that piece waived.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't expect them to know that, but
Yeah.
uh, you know, I remember there was probably maybe a 30-minute class on VA loans and in VA entitlements all together whenever I was exiting the military. And I can guarantee I don't remember a thing about it. And so, because I was getting out, I was thinking about all kinds of other things. But anyway, meet, that's what it takes. Is a lender that knows that loan program. And in fairness, I guess maybe it's laziness on a lender's part. A lot of lenders may only close one VA loan a year, often
Wow.
none. It's VA
Yeah.
loans about 1% of the total lending world.
Yeah.
So some of them they just don't know. Anyway, what? And you just learned something new, so I'm happy to
I
share
did.
that.
But I do want to piggyback a little bit and plug Texas.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Because, as you can imagine, I do get a lot of, families that relocate here from out of state.
Yep.
And, some of them are, processing out. And, one of the questions I always ask them is why Texas? Because, it always amazes me to know why they came to the state of Texas, especially when they have no roots here.
Hmm.
And I see a lot of that. And they just say, when we're processing out, we're doing our research, Texas is one of the most veteran friendly states to live in, bar none.
Yeah.
So plug for Texas, guys. Like come to Texas.
Come to Texas.
We love you
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. You can, two things, the taxes. If your disability rating in the VA, your taxes will match that, or they have a prorated calculation for that. If you're 100% disabled, they waive your taxes completely.
Yeah,
Your
that's
property
awesome.
taxes, that's a big deal. Depending on
Yeah.
where you live in Texas, that's a huge deal. So,
Yep, exactly.
yeah,
A lot of buying
and
power there.
yeah, and then for those of us that do have to pay property taxes, in the state of Texas, your lender can get your escrow account set up with your homestead exemption immediately. So you go
Nice.
into your home paying your homestead exemption, which in the state of Texas, 100,000 right off the
Yep.
top of the value of your home. So that's what that translates into is about your look at your property tax bill, about 25% less.
Yep.
Substantial savings there. So tell me okay, so you got into real estate to, thinking about your daughter and her needs and how you could best support your family. Where are you today? Has that changed? Has life brought you new goals?
Oh yeah. Wow. So I will have to tell you, fast forward, so my daughter lives out in DFW.
Hmm.
She's got her PhD now. So
Good for
very
her.
proud of her. Yeah, super amazed at what she did and what she accomplished. And in 2020, when I was thinking about going back into the business full time, I had a conversation with my husband and I'm like, this is what I'm thinking about doing. He's like, is that what you want to do? I'm like, yeah, I want to do this. And he's like, fine, just go crush it. I'm like, great, I'll go do it. That's kind of what we did. And it was nice because, like I said, I decided to go back in at the end of 2020. And that first year, I think I did 3 million in sales in that last quarter,
Hmm.
which, I guess is kind of decent for a quarter being like just bam, here I am, let's buy something. And then, a couple of years after that, I think I did 8, then I did 12. Last year I did on my own with the help of my husband, 24 million last year.
Wow. Good for
Yeah.
you. Yeah, I know you're in top in your area, the big area, top
Yeah.
1% real estate agent, but statewide, you're in the top 1% real estate agent. So congratulations. Gosh.
Yeah.
That's
And I actually thought last year, so going into the year, my philosophy was, hey, you know what? I'm just going to grind this out as much as I can for the first part of the year because come August, with the NAR changes, I wasn't exactly
mhm.
sure how that was going to impact my business. I'm like, I
Right.
could be a little bit busy, I could be not busy at all. I mean, I might have a few months before things settle down and, I might hit a brick road and be on vacation for a few months. I had no
Yeah.
idea. So, like I said, I was just trying to grind out as many, transactions as I could in preparation for what I didn't know was going to happen in August.
Right.
And August hit and things did not skip a beat. They just kept on moving. It was nice.
Tell me a little bit about your team.
I'm the team. Yay.
You know
So
it.
it's me and
Yeah.
my husband. That's it.
There you
That's
go.
it. Yeah, it's me and
Good.
my husband. That we're the team. And I have an amazing administrative assistant that helps me out with the administrative stuff because I mean without him I die.
Right. Yeah, I hear
So,
you.
and
I got to,
I tell him that when he's off the weekends, I'm like, come back, I'm gonna die.
yeah. Yeah, I got a team too, and they help me stay focused on what I need to do.
Yeah,
Take care of our
it's important.
clients. Yeah, it is. It is. So in your area, are there, well, first question, tell me what you love doing outside of real estate. And then the
So
second one, is there any local charities or nonprofits that you're involved in or want to highlight that are important to you?
yeah, so for sure. So my husband does clay shooting competitively. All
Oh,
right. So he does registered shoots, things of that nature. But along with that, he also does volunteer shoots as well that fund different charitable organizations. So and it's nice because it still helps us serve our clientele
hmm
through the community. So we do a lot through, clay shooting tournaments. So, our business sponsors those shoots. So, for instance, one of the shoots I absolutely love is Clays for Canines. So we do that out in Katy, Texas. And so as you can imagine, they bring out the police dogs and the helicopters, and you've got all different types of law enforcement from your local law enforcement to Border Patrol. I mean, everyone's out there, lots of military folks out there. They do exhibitions, things of that nature. And then obviously everything, all the funds that are raised go to, the units for the dogs and things of that nature.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
It is
Are
amazing and it's a fun time.
are those dogs, are they service dogs or
No,
active?
they're active canine dogs.
Okay,
And
gotcha. So,
yeah. And so for people like me, it's very hard to be there because I'm like, I really want to touch that dog. But you cannot, you're not allowed to touch them. But I mean, they're amazing animals. And like I said, they do,
mhm.
presentations of how they work and stuff like that. We do, the last one we did, they have raffles and giveaways. So we participated in an auction, so we were
Mhm.
able to bid and buy a vest for one of the canines, which was nice. So yeah, it's a
Wow.
great way to serve people, and it's like I said, it's such a fun time.
Nice. The reason I asked that, I've been on the back end of that when they retire those service
Yes,
dogs or the
yeah,
active duty canines in the
yeah,
military and police force when they retire them and rehome them.
yeah,
A lot of times they'll do that with those active duty component, whoever their handlers.
yeah,
But if not, then they'll give them over to service communities that help
yeah.
dogs with people too. Anyway, so there's a little bit of connection there. That is very cool. Yeah, that's I knew a police officer that had a dog, his canine unit, and he had a word, and as soon as he said that word, that dog was on
Oh yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Up until that moment, it was a beautiful German Shepherd. Just
Yeah.
you'd think, I want to pet that dog.
Oh yeah.
And,
You cannot touch them.
yeah, it
But
was.
and a few other ones that we do on an annual basis. We do, Homes for Our Troops, Wounded Warrior.
Mhm.
Those are kind of the three that we participate in every year. So obviously it's a very large event. Thousands of people show up to these events. And like I said, we just sponsor our shooting team.
Yeah.
And we know we get to participate in the auctions and things like that. So we donate through that as well. And
When
then
is
out
that?
I don't know when. I think we just did the case for Canine earlier this year. There are different times throughout the year.
Okay.
My husband's got all that on schedule. And then the other one that we like to do is outside of that is for A&M. So A&M actually has a shooting team and they're self-funded, as you know. Sounds like you
Hmm.
do know that. So
A
they have an
little
annual
bit.
event every year and we participate in that one as well.
Nice. I'll tell you what, on those, let's look at the calendar and we can do some video stuff with them. I'll do get a hold of whoever wants to be the spokesperson, and I would be happy to interview them, just do a conversation like you and I do, and then I'll do some promotional stuff with it to see what I can do to drive some funds y'all's way. How about that?
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Nice. Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. I I'll do the one on A&M. I have a lot of people to share that with. So
And and
so
and by the way, you would not believe this, but every year that A&M hosts that shoot,
yeah.
the UT guys show up as well. So the shooting team shows up and they do a dunk tank for the UT team. It's a fun time.
Oh, I
It's just
bet. Yeah,
yeah.
no, that's that good healthy rivalry. That's
Yes.
awesome. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, what's next for you?
Well, we're just, trying to grow our business. This year started off great. We've got, I think, 12 closings for the month of May. So month of May is looking pretty good, for us and we're just still trying to really just serve our clients. And, the nice thing about it is, my husband, I really do have to give a plug to my husband because without him, I would not be able to do it. I mean, without his
Hmm.
support, because of him, I can do what I'm doing, and I can just take it as far as I want, and he's very supportive of it. So I'm appreciative of that.
I love it. All right. So, best way for somebody that's looking to buy a home or sell a home, what's the best way that they could get a hold of you?
Oh, they can just give me a call or text me at 281-799-9595, or
Okay.
they can Google me. I'm on
All right.
Google.
I'm going to put the links down below. The charity organizations with helping with canine units to the servicing the veteran community. If y'all are looking for a great real estate agent in the Cypress area, please reach out to Lisa Mann. Lisa, thank you for sharing about 30 minutes with me, and thoroughly enjoyed it. And personally, want to thank you as a veteran for what you're doing in that community as well.
And thank you for your service and sacrifice. I greatly appreciate you as well.
You were worth it.
Oh, thank you. So are you.